grandson of right thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. If you consider today that everything that you're able to do, everything that you're able to obtain, everything that you're able to acquire, something has to happen first. Something has to happen in order for you to make any of that possible. And first of all, that must mean that you're living. And if man could remember and understand that these things that he's chasing after are secondary to that fact, then he would be doing the one thing in his life that isn't a waste of time. And that one thing would be fearing the Most High, his Creator, his Maker, seeking his Maker, instead of seeking the things that he can see. I will remind you, the things that are seen, are they temporary or are they everlasting and forever? But you chase it. You chase it and you chase it. Chasing the wind. Can you catch the wind? Or are you forever going to be chasing? And this is why we remember being part of the body and what a blessing it is to enjoy the fruits of the body. Not thanking the Father for what I have seen, but thanking the Father for the fact that I can see. Man has forgotten to have gratitude for the things that matter. The things that he was given that matter, he forgets, and he chases after the wind. Well, all is vanity. That thing that you're chasing is vanity because you can see it if you're chasing it. Or are you chasing something that you can't see? Now, the world would laugh at me if I told them that that was actually the right way to be. To be chasing after the thing that you can't see. It's actually foolishness to chase after what you can see. Because what you can see is temporary. It won't last forever. And man has gotten caught up on chasing temporary things with temporary satisfaction. And so he chases again. And this is shown to us in addictions that man has. You don't see your dog smoking your cigarettes. You don't see your cat in the bathroom tying off. Man is doing that. You don't see your pet snake go down to the bar and get inebriated and then come back home. Can't say he's staggering because he don't have no legs. You don't see that, but you see man doing it. Why? Because his labor is vexation to his spirit. And he also denies his spiritual side. So he chases after the wind, getting temporary satisfaction, chasing after the wind more, getting another dose of temporary satisfaction, chasing the wind more, getting another dose of temporary satisfaction. It's shown all over our urban areas of our country that we live in. This loop of chasing a temporary feeling because it won't last forever. You just wish it would. You seek to escape your labor, your portion that was given unto you by the Father. And all of creation groans because of this very thing. And that's why it is written, blessed are you who mourn. Why would it say that? How does that make sense to the human mind? Well, it doesn't, because the human mind or the carnal mind is actually enmity against God. And it cannot be made subject to God. If you understood that truth, then you'd understand yourself. My desire, that feeling when my desire goes out and it starts to move, it starts to take what I have seen and cause a feeling to come. Desire. Well, what am I going to get if I obtain that desire? Well, what does it say about riches? Many chase after riches. And what does it say about riches? Now, does the world chase after riches? And all through music videos and on TV and in movies, you see people making money to be something to be sought after. It will give you happiness, or it will give you this, or it will give you that. Well, what does the Father say about it? He says, you who store up goods, increase in goods, which is what everybody's trying to do. Those will increase who eat them. So in Biggie's words, more money, more problems. It's the same thing. It's the same wisdom speaking. So it's vain to chase it, but the world still does. You see? The world still does. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. The preacher? The preacher, the son of David. What does preacher mean? Collector of sentences. What sentences? God's sentences. That's what the word preacher means. He says the collector of the sentences of God concluded that everything else was vanity. He also built homes and orchards and got silver and gold and increased in the riches unlike anyone before him or after him. And the gift that he gave you, the labor that he labored in, which was storing up all of this wisdom, what will that feel like to do that? What will it give me to do that? Well, he did it for you. And you can do with it what you will. You can have gratitude for his labor and say, thank you for teaching me, preacher, for collecting the sentences so that I don't have to collect them. I can just receive the benefit of your work, just like he says there in that same book. You see? Just like he says there in that book. This is a sore travail that a man labor in righteousness and in equity and in learning truths, and then pass it on to someone who didn't do any of that work, but they get the benefits of it. Kind of like what's happening here, you see. I couldn't tell you anything about the scriptures if I had not collected the sentences in my heart so that I could say it to you. You see? Because that's what son of David actually means. A son of David is a preacher or a collector of sentences. That's his labor. That's his work. You see? So here we find ourselves in this world, filled with people refuse to accept that it is indeed vanity. And so they forget the things that are important. Then obviously, correct? If there's real and fake, if you focus on the fake, then is your focus on the real? No. Whatever you focus on, everything else around it becomes blurry. You'll understand that with your own camera. You understand it with your own eyes. Well, it's the same thing when you're thinking or feeling. You're actually focusing, see? And people are focusing on what they can see. Well, the word tells you what happens when you do that. You're focusing on temporary things, and so therefore you're living a faithless life. Son of promise, Isaac, forever. Ishmael, not the son of promise, lived with his father temporarily, and it hurt Abraham and caused him to be greatly distressed. That's there for all of our admonition and learning, so that we all may be edified with that and understand that when we live our lives chasing something by what we can see, then we'll end up having something in our life that we will love for a time, and we'll have it temporarily. And then when it is taken from our lives, we will be greatly distressed at that moment. And it is happening all around you guys, and it is amazing how people still deny the word. They still deny its authenticity when it's being done right in front of you. The conclusion of the whole matter of this life that you're living was that everything is vanity that's done under the sun, which means in the 3D visible realm. It is pointless, and it is stress to your spirit. It is vexation. Man's work, his labor. Work is not pleasant, is it? When you go to work, is it? Well, if it is, then that is a gift from God. That you enjoy in your labor, a vanity that you do under the sun. Because all of you who have goals, what will happen when you obtain that goal? Will you set a new one, or are you done with goals? So he helped you, the preacher did, by saying, it's all vanity. What profit is it of all of the work? And then he tells you all the work that he did. And you people of today cannot compare with it. So then, isn't it vanity? Let's use that word. Isn't it vanity to chase what has already been acquired by someone before, and they told you, hey, I got it. You get into that room you're trying to get into. Just work with me here and walk with me. You go into a room, you've been trying to get in this room your whole life. You finally get in there, and there's a man already in there. You're like, wait a minute, I thought there was not going to be anybody in here but me. It was so hard to get here. He's already in here. Then when I got in there, he says, hey man, it's vanity. It's pointless. So you can run around in this room and search around all you want for everything in here, but I'm telling you, it's all a waste of time. I've already been here and done it. And so that's what the preacher was telling you when he said, who can eat like the king? Who can do after the king? What he's saying is, when I told you guys I collected all that gold, all that silver, see, money in today's terms, I'm telling you that because I was king, I was able to collect it on a level that none of you people can do. And if you become king, you'll just be doing what I did. because there's nothing new done under the sun. Now look up in the sky. What do you see up there in the daytime? You under it, doing stuff. So whatever you do under it is vanity. It's a waste of time. It's chasing the wind. It's chasing the wind. Temporary, guys. It's all vanity because the body that you're in is temporary. You can see it, can't you? He says, focus on the things which are not seen, because the things which are not seen are eternal. So then, I know you can list off all the things you desire that you can see, but what things do you desire that you can't see? Because he says to focus on that. That should be clear in your mind, is it? Or do you have some 3D object clear in your mind? Because people that talk about manifesting, that's what they do. You want that new house? That's 3D, isn't it? You want that new car? That's a 3D object that I can see that will only last for a temporary time in my life. Ask any other human that has purchased a car. Ask them if they had to replace it. Just ask. How many cars have you had in your life? Now, when you got the new one, it felt good, didn't it? How long did that feeling last? You remember when you got your all-white Air Force Ones? You tried them on at the mall. You was like, oh my God, they ain't got a spot on them. Remember that? How long did that last before they turned yellow? And you were too ashamed to even be caught dead in them. So you just threw them on the backyard, on the back porch, until it was time to cut the grass. Then you threw them on. The same shoes you was looking at going, woo! Now you got to go and get another pair, then another pair, then another pair, and then another pair, and then another pair, and then you'll do that till you die. So what profit did it do? And then all the things that you said it was profit were temporary little fleeting vapors. A vapor. See, vapor. Do you know the Hebrew word for vapor? Do you know it's the same word as breath? And do you know that that word is a name of a person? So there is a person who was born into the earth whose name is also vapor and breath, which means vanity. That one word, that one name means those three words: vapor, breath, and vanity. Who am I talking about? That would be Hebel, or as y'all know, Abel. Hebel means vanity, breath, vapor. Now, did he have a temporary existence or an eternal one here? Due to the wickedness in man, he had a temporary existence. So do you see why he was named vanity? Vapor. What does James say about a man's life? Life is but a vapor. It is then vanity then. If you're saying it's a vapor. Life is a breath. Well, I'm breathing. Vapor come out when I breathe. Go outside in the wintertime, you'll actually see the vapor. So what does that mean? It's vanity. Just like Solomon said, your breathing in this 3D world was vain, pointless, waste of time, and laborious effort, because everything I do here, I do for my mouth. Is that what it says there? Now, what do you do? And what do you do it for? What do you do it for? Your mouth. So you can eat. That's even what people say in the hood. I gotta eat. And they're talking about getting money. It's just a slang way of saying, I gotta get me some money. Whatever, dog, I'm hungry. What did DMX mean when he said he was hungry? Okay then, see what I'm trying to explain to you? Everything a man do, he do for his mouth. And is the mouth ever filled? What causes desire to rise up in a man? What he sees. People say it all the time when they want to be scientific and smart. Men are visual creatures. Visual. That's actually error. Then men, man, mankind. It's actually backwards to do that, to be visual. Because the scripture says, don't walk by sight. But yet people do it every day, and that's why they're so afraid. Do you think if you were living in this world and you weren't walking by sight, do you think you'd be afraid? What could make you afraid if you're not walking by what you see? If a man give up his life, he shall find it. If a man lose his life for my name's sake, he shall find it. Man lose his life, then he'll find it? Yep, that man that walks by faith, gotta lose him. That walks by sight, excuse me, you gotta lose him. And you gotta become the man who walks by faith. The man who lives in fear, you have to lose him. We die daily. I am crucified with Christ, that I may be resurrected in his resurrection. See? What does that mean? I died to my old life so that I could be born again in the newness of the new man. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not having to die first, because I actually believe these words he told me. I know them to be true. When he said that if a man keep my sayings, he shall what? Never taste death. If a man keep my sayings, he shall never see death. Well, that's what he told you. Either you think he's lying to you, or you know he's telling you the truth. It's one or the other. There's no in between here. There's no gray area. Men like to make gray area. Man likes to do that. They like to make gray area. There isn't one. Father told you that. You just want to be rebellious and try to make your own way. See? Because you like to go by sight. That's how you deceive people. Look here. Look at what I'm doing right here. Look at what I'm doing. And meanwhile, over there, you're doing something else. Okay, I'm not going to go by what I see. I'm going to go by what the fuck you're actually doing. Oh, well, I don't want you around here. Get that guy out of here. I'm not marveling that you hate me. My light's on. You're in darkness and you like it. So then, of course, you're mad when you see me. But I don't listen to you who tells me to turn the light off. That's stupid, because I listen to him who told me, let it shine. What does shine mean? It means to preach, to collect sentences so that you can give them to the people. That's what letting your light shine is. You see? But of course, if they live in darkness in this world, and they don't want their evil deeds to be exposed, then they'll say, turn that light back off. Just like you would say if you were cheating on your spouse and you were in the dark ass closet at work having sex with somebody in there and somebody walked in and turned the light on. You would immediately say, hey, turn the fucking light off, man. What the hell are you doing? Yeah, because you don't want your deed exposed. Darkness doesn't expose anything, it hides. See, it's easy. Light exposes. So am I letting my light shine if I cover up what I see? No. No. And the things that I see are hidden because I don't look at the 3D things. See how Christ makes you powerful? If you just listen to him, you will overcome the lies of the enemy. The last lie is death. Christ told y'all that when he said, y'all think the girl's dead, huh? She's sleeping. Y'all also must have forget when they said, he's been 4 days, speaking of Lazarus. He's been 4 days in there. 4 days. Been 4 days in there. Surely he stinketh. He's stinking by now, like dead people do when they've been dead for days. Christ said, come forth. And Lazarus walked out of there looking like a mummy. He said he's hungry. Give him something to eat. So do dead people eat? Wasn't Christ crucified up there on that cross? And then afterwards, he was eating some fish on the beach with his homeboys? Yeah. So what's this dying stuff you're talking about? What's this dying stuff? If you seek to save your life, you'll lose it. Well, I'm watching people seek to save their life all the time because they're still thinking that there's stuff out there to obtain. It's the only reason you would be fearing death. You think it's better here than in the place of unseen. Well, you didn't read your scriptures then, did you? You didn't read that man was kicked out of his original estate, his original home. Huh. You didn't read about the Israelites being kicked out of their original home. Huh. And awaiting their return back. What are Israelites waiting for right now? Because they've been living in a great toil or great labor for free. The Israelites have. See how God's showing you the vanity of the life here? By putting Israelites in a state of complete vanity. Everything their hand did was for another. Y'all can't see that, then that's sad. And it's pathetic. And foolish. Just tell you like it is. I just tell you like it is. Vanity of vanity, man. When you increase your knowledge and your wisdom, what happens to you? Sorrow. Why? Because you realize that everything that you thought was important is not. You realize that everything that you're connected to and have a great feeling associated with it here is stupid to do that, and it's a waste of time. But your brain still wants to fight against you and say, but it does matter. No, it doesn't matter, but it does. That's what's happening to you. You're having turmoil internally about accepting the truth of God. Everyone is. Just because you call yourself by some fanciful word or some name of a nation or some name of some sect or synagogue or group or cult doesn't change who made you. You were created. Before you knew anything, you was here. You'd be like, do you remember? You'd be talking to a baby. You'd be like, do you remember when you were 7 days old and I did this and said this to you? They never remember that day, do they? But yet, when they start remembering the days, then they start thinking that all of a sudden they started this thing that they're doing. If you started it, then why did you make it to where you don't remember? All of you people who worship the creature more than the creator, and there's a whole lot of you who do it, claiming to be spiritual. It's sickening. You think because you have on some 3D object on your body that you're higher in spiritual nature than someone else. It's hilarious. I have this copper around my neck with a lapis lazuli in there, with a tiger eye in my earring put on there for special vibrational purposes, and I have a rose gold and rose quartz encased in a rose gold embezzlement that I have in my turban here that I wear. It helps me to meditate. That shit don't help you do a damn thing. It doesn't help you. It's under the sun, isn't it? Yeah, I found it under the sun. Well, then it's vanity, nigga. And it ain't new what you doing, neither. It ain't nothing new. Look at this pendulum that I ordered off Amazon that I have. When I ask it questions, it'll swing back and forth and answer my questions for me. If it says yes, it'll spin this way. If it's no, it'll spin that way. And they're holding the thing and shit. See, I'm not moving at all. If thing starts moving, I'm not moving. Look at my hand. So that stone there, hanging on that chain that Ling Ling Ching made in China, sent over here for 2 pennies to Amazon and shit. And now you ordered it and they sent it to you in a piece of plastic wrapping. Some bubbles on that shit, bubble wrap. Now you think you can ask it and it'll answer your questions. Is that idolatry? Is that hebel? Is that vanity? Is that vexation of spirit to do that? The things which are not seen. Okay, I can see that damn pendulum. So you said it got what? Power. I can see it. How it got power? My power does not come from nothing outside of me. It comes from within. That's where it comes from. So then, what do you have out there that you're running to? Because it's wind. What you chasing this year? What's your New Year's resolution, you said? Oh, okay. Because if you get that, then you'll be happy, right? Temporarily you will. Then what will happen after that? Then what will you do? And then y'all silly rabbits will straight up tell me some more shit. Well, yeah, and then I'm going to get married in 5 years and have 2 children, and I'm going to buy a house over here in Fort Lauderdale. And then I'm going, guys, what are y'all talking about? Really? What are you doing? You don't see it yet? You don't see it yet. You don't see that your mother was working at Chrysler or she was working at GM in the 70s, and she was able to buy the brand new Camaro that they were making at the assembly line that she worked on for $7,000. She was able to do that. But you work at the same plant that your mother worked at, and the new Camaro rolls off, and you have to pay $40,000. 40. Yep. Your dad bought his house. He paid $110,000 for that house. He's about to finish paying it off in 2 more years. You're about to start a 30-year mortgage. And your house is $700,000. How stupid is this? How stupid is it? I told you, the Most High showed y'all through Israel. Look at the vanity of what's done under the sun. Who was working under that hot-ass sun? Burning and frying hot as hell. Out there all damn day and not getting paid for their labor. Who was doing that? See, when I ask that question, a lot of people, they go, what do I mean by that? I mean, I say, who are those people that were slaving under the hot ass sun and shit, picking cotton and shit, not getting paid to do it? Their labor from when they were born until they died was for somebody else's benefit and gain. Now read the book of Ecclesiastes and see if it says that in there, that that's a great evil on the earth that he has seen, and it is common. Now when I ask you, who are those people? You say it in your head. Say it out loud. Who are those people that happened to? Yep. Same people Christ was sent to. I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Lost. You're sheep because you don't hunt. Do sheeps hunt? Now Esau, was he a hunter? Let's get down deep into the spirit. Let's let the spirit move. Was Esau a mighty hunter? What about Nimrod? Was he a mighty hunter? Yeah. Do you know what mighty hunter means? Do you think it means a guy who goes out there with a bow and arrow and shoots deer and hunts for boar? Is that what you think? Because that's not what Abba means when he says it. He means someone who hunts men's souls to bring them into subjection to their way of life. So then use your little noodle up here and ask yourself, was there a group of people who went across the earth trying to get the other indigenous people of the earth to come along with their way of thinking? That would be called colonization. Simple and easy to be understood if you all get out your damn feelings for 5 seconds and hear the truth. But you can't because you hear it through a filter of feelings. Well, then if he says that, then what he's saying is these people are bad people and these people are good people and blah, 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 blah. All is vanity. That's why he said, don't be over righteous or over wicked. See, don't be bad or good. Just be. The Father said that's what he wanted when he said, I am. That is my name. Tell it to your children. So your child goes, hey, Daddy, hey, Mama, what's God's name? What do you tell your child? Do you tell them what God told you to tell them? Or do you tell them some shit that man said? Because man is all fucked up, as you can see. You're living in Sodom and Gomorrah, and you think that there's righteousness going forth through this land. Y'all didn't read about Sodom and Gomorrah, how the men of the city surrounded Lot's house and asked for his guests, which were men, to come out there so they could have sex with them. And Lot said, I have women here. You have virgin daughters you can have. They said, no, we want the men. Is that the world you're living in now today? Well, take a look around. You tell me. You tell me. Since y'all focus on what you see so much, you should be able to see that. Do you see it? Now, I'm going to ask you a question. What is more valuable? What is the more valuable thing that I do when I meet a person? Is it to judge them by what I see? Or to judge them on things that I can't see? Y'all know the obvious answer to that. So then, wouldn't it be wise if I apply that same thinking to everything that I do in life? Are y'all? And it's just that simple. It's really just that simple. But I saw that thing and I liked it. Okay, I want you to go over there and talk to Eve. Ask her what started all of this error and travail and fucking problems and shit. Ask her, what was it? She's going to say, I saw something. I saw something. And I desired it after I saw it. Just like you. That's what I'm trying to tell you today. Y'all all look at Eve and blame Eve. Well, you're a fucking hypocrite if you do that, because you have also gone astray. You saw something. That's what makes the sheep go astray, nigga. He don't just wander the fuck off. He wanders off because he sees something that he thinks is desirable. The grass is greener on the other side, I think. No. Shepherd said, stay here. That's one of the other sheep. That's usually the black one. He's telling your little ass, hey, where you going? You're like, dude, why are you... Like Joseph, see? Why are you even talking, bro? Because you're going astray. I'm just warning you that that ain't a good thing to do. Well, I don't give a damn what you say. You ain't the shepherd, are you? You're like, well, okay. You want to go on and go. But I'm telling you, it ain't a wise thing to do. Well, look at that succulent green grass over there over the prairie. You're like, it looks like that because there's a cloud up there making a shadow on top of that grass, making it look dark green. It's not, though. It's an illusion. What the fuck do you mean, a cloud and all this shit? Nigga, you talking crazy. When I know what dark green grass look like, that's all he thinking because he's going by what he see with his eye. He ain't looking at the thing he can't see up there. See? So he goes running over there. Well, there's a pack of wolves lurking over there. Over there in the thicket. There's a pack of wolves in there. As soon as you see them, you start screaming out for the shepherd. And the shepherd's going to say, did you listen to the servant that I had that warned you? Oh, by the way, thank you, Father. Letting your light shine. Shine means warn. You have to know the Hebrew word for shine. Once you know the Hebrew word for shine, then you'll see that that word means to warn. So isn't it obvious what I'm doing right now? The preacher collects sentences, let your light shine, and then warn others. With the sentences you collected, use those sentences to warn others. What's happening right now? Hey guys, did you know that what you're chasing is vanity? See how the black sheep is walking around in the sheepfold and looking at the other sheep about to run off and say, hey, why are you chasing the money? It's an illusion. No, man, I want it too bad, man. It's going to make me rich and make me be able to put a hat on my head. Put a jacket on. I'm going to look cool. That hat going to wear out. That jacket going to wear out and fade. But it'd be cool, man. Come on, it'd be new at first. Not new. It's already been done before, man. Another sheep ran over there and put on a leather jacket, too. And damn near got ripped up by wolves, man. That shit make you a target. It make you a big-ass target. Stay put. That's letting your light shine. What did y'all think it was? Let me get rich and show people how much God has blessed my life. Now I'm letting my light shine. Hey, there's a poor guy over there by Chick-fil-A by the door there. When I come out, I'll make sure I'll bring a meal for him too, and I'll film it and put it on Facebook Live so I can motivate you guys to do the same thing. That's not letting your light shine because you're not warning anybody. You're in a room called America. You think that room is beautiful. You think it has all good things in there. But it doesn't. It's been painted over with an illusion. I see it for what it is. So I'm telling you what it is so that you don't go grabbing the poison thinking you found some gold. So that you don't go lusting after things that you can see and pierce yourselves through with many sorrows. Why would I want my friend to kill himself? Chasing after the wind. Why would I want that to happen? So then I'll let my light shine and warn. See how this goes. You see how it goes? So y'all, to end this message, 4444, interesting. To end this message, wow. To end this message, I will say, this may very well be the last message that you guys hear from the grandson of right thought. Because The vexation of spirit is at its all-time height. It is filled to the brim. And his spirit shall not always strive with man. Strive with man. Man, listen to me at last. That's striving. Man, turn away from your sins. That's striving. Man, return to me. Listen to me so that you'll find the peace that you're looking for. That's striving. His spirit won't always do that. Salam Israel.